Hello, welcome back. It's February. It's been a couple of weeks since I was last on camera. I've basically just been amassing parts, starting to do a bit of work on the railway. Most of it can be seen here. Now, this is obviously just the base. It's designed so that we can put it away when I'm not using it, especially the large retaining wall sections. They can be boxed out and stored efficiently, mostly, and then these can be stacked on top of each other, and obviously it just goes up to platform height, which I think is a decent size. It's stackable, and most importantly there's enough depth in the base so that you can get certain mechanisms in, like, for example, a little signal. This did take a bit of trial and error, and to be honest there are still times when it plays up a little bit. You've got to really work with getting it right. But it's just mechanical enough to have a bit of playability, and also it's neat enough so that it's hidden from view, basically. You'll notice that the track is ballasted, or ballasted. It's basically the spaces have been filled in and it's been raised up a little. There is a reference on a website from a group in the USA called Penlug, basically short for Pennsylvania Lego User Group, and they've been doing trains for goodness knows how long, and they are far better at it than I am, and on a much larger scale. But their instructions are very, very useful. They show you how to ballast really complicated things like points, and that is what I'm going to do now. So as you can see, I've got two bases done already, and you can tell that there has been a lot of dark bluish grey and light bluish grey needed for this one so far. And I've also made a lot of orders for the dark tan, because as you will see, it will make up a lot of the retaining wall. So it's just the points section to create, and I've already got my base, and I have been amassing the parts that have been listed by the Penlug instructions for the points, the ballast, and also the curve and straight sections of track that go with it. So I should be ready to start. So that is basically it for now in terms of following the pen lug instructions. It's quite simple. Obviously, I haven't got any sleepers on it yet. I'm going to put those on later. I'm still figuring out how to do those because either I put in twice the amount of money and get sleepers every other space, or I put in about half the money and get one every 2 spaces. That will kind of mess up the tidiness of it, but at this stage I am on a bit of a budget, so I'm probably going to go for the latter as opposed to the former. There's a link in the corner to the pen lug instructions. It's here or here. I can't remember whether this camera flips or not. And I will also put a link in the description for when you're done at the end of the video, so you can check those out if you need any help with ballasting your track. At least this is one method of doing it that I have chosen as a preference. Now there are other things to do. I want to add a mechanism to this, a signal, at least one. I know that because there are 2 platforms you would technically need 2 signals, but I'm more going for what is functional and looks nice, and maybe later on I'll see if I can get something that's more accurate. But I have tried to do double signals before and it is a nightmare, so I'm going to leave that for now. Other than that, I'm going to start building the retaining wall, or at least the base of it, and I'm going to make some space for the signal box. But I'll do that over the next couple of days, so you're going to get that in about 3, 2, 1. Ah, it worked. So this is the finished base, at least so far. There are still some sort of minor details I'm going to add later on once the whole thing is finished, like certain bits of grass and moss and things that you'll find mostly on the floor of the railway. As you can see, there's a space here that I've left for the signal box, which will mask the join for the signal mechanism. That is roughly the same as the one before, although you can actually see it moving better. But the most interesting bit probably is the point lever, which is basically a long Technic lift arm connected just behind here and attaches to this pin. Of course, you might be wondering why all the mechanism is hidden inside here as opposed to on the other one where it was slightly on the outside, and I find it is actually a lot better to hide it all in the actual model so that I don't get any complications when packing or anything like that. And when I build the retaining walls, they are going to have a gap in the back so that you can reach in. I want them to be quite hollow, I think, so that they're not only light, but they're also easy on the amount of bricks I use. So while we're at this stage, I might as well bring in the signal box. I've made a couple of little modifications to it. I've actually shortened the steps here and taken one of these steps out of the bottom so that when I fit it in, it actually works in with the floor well. And obviously that side there has been built up to hide the point motor a bit more, but it looks fine and I think it works very well. So now that I've got the base done, it's time to start building up the retaining wall. I should have enough bricks. I've certainly been making quite a lot of Bricklink orders for them. If there's any chance that I haven't, there's no biggie, I'll just have to pause the video and continue more. So, let's get on with it. So there you have it. In case you're wondering why I look completely different from the last shot, it's because I had to go out after I finished that retaining wall and I completely forgot to film an outro, so that's my bad. If you'd like to support this project, there is a link to my Patreon page at the end of the video and in the description. Huge thank you to my two most recent pledges, Oliver and Colin. Your donations are hugely appreciated. Well, that is all from this instalment. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.